Hi, and thank you so much for joining us today. Today's CMA Showcase video is really exciting, actually. I've been wanting to chat with George Sandhu, who's joined me today. Hi, George. How
Hi there, how you doing?
Good, good, great. Thanks, George. I've been wanting to talk to you for ages because, I know that you do some really exciting things. And when you joined the CMA, we were looking at your application and going, "Ooh, gosh, he's special." So that's
Thank you very much.
oh, yeah, no, no, not at all. We're so excited to be able to actually speak to you in person. So, George, please introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners. Tell us a little bit about the work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. My name's George Sandhu. I'm a spiritual life coach. I specialize in self-love and self-care. So I've been studying spirituality for like 17 years, and it just gets deeper and deeper. And as you go into it, there's just so much, it's just so many levels of deep spirituality. But it's all very healing. And I've gone through all that, and I have the skills to help other people to change their lives, and it can change their lives profoundly. Everything is about coming back to the present moment, where everything is, where all your power is. And whilst challenging clients' belief structures, the more we change our belief structures, the more how our lives will change. And that's the key thing. The more you want to change, the more everything around you changes. And I just want to help people through this. In these testing times,
Yeah.
there's always a silver lining. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. Yeah. George, I love what you've said there. We are going through really tough times, and I think that everything we're seeing in the media and so on, it just piles on to us and piles on. I mean, even the stuff that you sort of almost absorb osmotically through things like social
Yes.
media and so on and so forth. You can't really get away from the bad stuff and the negativity. And I'm not saying that we need to ignore it, because we certainly don't, but we have to have ways of protecting ourselves. And it seems to me, from what you're saying, this is where you come in and help people to be more resilient, spiritually and otherwise. Is that right? Have I understood that right?
Yes, that's absolutely exactly the nail on the head. Is to be
Okay.
resilient to these testing times, where all I believe that everything that's going on into the world, it comes from the creator to help us level up. It helps us to dive deep into ourselves and to handle everything that's going on around us in a better way. And rather than focusing on, we know what's going on in the outside world, it's good to know about it, but we've got to heal from the inside out, and not be fearful of these things. We can really create our lives so specially once we get to know ourselves, how we function. And there's lots of ways that I do it. I do it, as I say, with the present moment. I use etymology, and etymology and breaking down of the English language that are embedded with secret codes that tell us what we need to do and instruct us and explains who we really are. And in that sense, it's so empowering. And then we can handle absolutely anything in this world. And I've lived through it, and I know I'm helping people do this, and they just change.
Absolutely fantastic. And so, I mean, I'm sold. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So, can you tell me, if I was coming to you as a client, what would I expect to happen? How do you actually work? Is this body work, or is it just, talk therapy, or how do you actually operate?
Most of it is actually talking therapy. It's very much the self-love aspect to it. So people might come to me because they don't understand, or I say understand because everything is inwards. They don't understand why their lives are the way that they are. And I try to refocus and rebalance and put a new perspective on things the way that they are. And that takes a few minutes to do. And then I go straight into basically using the etymology, um, breaking down who we really are. And then we'll go into the brain aspects. The brain aspects, I mean, it's sad to say the more people know about their car engine than their actual physiology on the brain. And when we learn how we function, we start to balance everything out here. And then we start to heal every aspect of our lives. And the very thing that people find difficult is actually looking in the mirror and looking at their so-called flaws, but to learning how to say to yourself that I actually love you and that you're the most important person in my life. If you say that to yourself every morning, you're just going to become more empowered. However, people do struggle to do that because they're looking deep into their eyes and they're looking deep into their soul. And I want to empower them and I want to help them build that self-love, that self-trust, and make them shine out into the world of helping them to be their authentic God self that they were supposed to be. That's how I start off. And then we go into, as sessions go by, I'll start challenging their belief structure and I'll break things down. I break things down, for example, the belief structure or any subject, so we can see what components go together. And it makes sense to do this. And I can help the client see what belief structures do not serve them, and then absolutely reframe it from there and change it. It's very alchemizing, this kind of work.
Yes. Yes, it's incredible. It does sound really exciting. And, if hypothetically, if I came to you as a client, how many sessions would you anticipate that I would need? Or does it just depend on the individual's circumstances or how they respond to your work? I mean, or is there sort of a rule of thumb that somebody sort of needs a certain amount of sessions to actually get to where they want to be?
It's up to the client, really, to take advantage of the full transformational therapy that I do. It is an average of 6 to 12 sessions. Clients can come and go as they please. They can see how one session goes, how 4 sessions go. But my absolute promise is after one session, they'll notice a cloud that has been hovering over them, lifted, and they'll start to make changes. They'll start to see changes because I have a way of putting things in perspective for them. So it is there's no never ending to anything in life because there's all lessons, but I can help them cope and give them the relevant tools to use in their lives. So it could be as many sessions as they want, but I guarantee after the first session, they'll start to change there and then.
Gosh, so that is fantastic because I think a lot of people get a little bit put off by the thought of traditional therapy. And I'm particularly thinking of things like Jungian, Freudian therapy and so on, that the idea is that you're probably in therapy for the rest of your life. And change is remarkably slow. And so the fact that, you're delivering essentially instant gratification, for want of a better way of putting it. So people, and I think that's so important because when people are struggling, I think there's so much stuckness. And I think one of the problems with that stuckness is that people think that change is impossible for them. There's no way out of the big hole that they feel that they're in. And I think when you show that actually, things can shift and this is how we're going to do it, I think that just shines so much light onto their situation and their fears and so on, that actually it's just remarkably uplifting. What beautiful work to be doing in the world, George. It's tremendous.
Thank you. Yes, I just want to remind people that to every issue and problem that they have, there is always connected to it the solution. Absolutely there. Everything is a lesson. And sometimes it's about going deeper and more self-realization of what that lesson is to overcome that obstacle to get to the next level in life. It doesn't mean that you'll be in therapy forever. You'll just do it as and when you need. It's just about finding happiness here in the true present moment where all the power lies. Everything is here. Yes. So it's just to remember that every problem has a solution and that's how life was designed.
Yeah. And do you work, George? Do you work face to face or online or both? How do you actually connect with your clients?
At this moment in time, I work online. It gives me the freedom to travel. I like traveling and seeing the world. It's a perfect fit for me. And I've been to many places, and I will make sure I have a very good internet connection. So at the moment, it is online through Zoom or telephone call.
Yeah.
I like the old-fashioned way as well, the telephone call. And in the future, I don't know when, I will, depending on where I like to travel, I may settle down somewhere and have my own office. But at the moment, it will be online therapy.
Yeah, yeah, no, well, that's terrific. I mean, actually, since COVID, I see a massive change in the complementary medical and integrative health sort of environment. Where in COVID we had to support all of our members, for example, to transition to being able to offer their services online. And believe me, that was a head scratcher because
Yes.
how do you do that with, let's say, a body worker? But we came up with some really nifty solutions and really did, the CMA massively contributed to saving people's practices. And of course, then we got the law changed so our members could return to work after, during lockdown if they chose to do so. So, but yeah, I think the online thing is we're very blessed, I think, to live in this age where we can do this and help so many more people. While, of course, you having the ability to take the work that you do out around the world as well. You're touching so many lives, which is beautiful. So George, right, I could chat with you all day, I'll be honest with you,
Yes.
and I would love to do so.
Yes, me too.
You're just a remarkable man doing beautiful work in the world, and thank you
Thank you.
for that. No, not at all.
Thank
And
you.
what we need, I guess, what we really need to do is to signpost people to how they find you. So, what is the best way for somebody to, if they want to book in with you, and I thoroughly encourage people to do so, how are they going to do that?
My website is www.onelightcoaching.com, and then you can contact me from there. My telephone number is on the website, and you can send an email from there as well. So contact@onelightcoaching.com, and I'll get back to you within 2 days.
Awesome.
So please contact me. Anything that you need help with, please contact me. And I want to thank the CMA for giving me this opportunity as well.
Oh, no, it's an absolute pleasure. Really lovely. So anybody watching, George's contact details will be, if you're watching on YouTube, underneath in the show notes. So One Light Coaching is the URL to sort of go and Google if you're looking. Also, you'll be able to, as I say, pick it up under in the show notes. Just click the little down arrow to see those. And George, I just want to thank you for being with us today. We're definitely
Thanks
going to
so
bring you
much.
back. And
Yes, please do.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I think what we actually need is probably to set you up with a full hour's sort of tutorial, really, for members and any members of the public who would like to join in as well. Because I think the more that we can help get your work out there. This is obviously what we try to do with our showcase videos.
Yes.
We can all together support and help so many more people. So we'll talk to you about that afterwards anyway.
Yes,
I'll
please.
let
Yes,
you go.
absolutely.
I know you've got a
Thank
busy
you.
afternoon. I'll let you go right
Thank
now.
you.
But thank you for this time, George.
Thank you for your time, Jane. Take care.
Pleasure.